So you started a fire so you could skip school?
No.
So you had an interesting morning, huh?
Yes, a very flammable, interesting morning.
Yeah. So I was gone,
Mm-hmm.
right? And somebody came to the door and you thought they were my friend? And then you
No.
realized it was like security?
No, I thought it was like Mr. Sam.
Okay.
Yeah.
And-
Since he rings the doorbell multiple times.
Oh, they rang the doorbell a lot, huh?
Uh-huh.
And what did he say to you?
Fire.
That's all he said was fire?
Fire, and then more people came and said, there's a fire, there's a fire.
Yeah.
Fire, there's a fire.
How many people were there?
6.
Whoa. And then did they say you need to get out of the house, or what'd they say?
You need to... yes, they said that.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
said, like, get any animals and get out of the house, or did you just know to get Charlie and get out?
Get Charlie out.
Yeah. So you just went and grabbed her leash and got her out?
Yes.
Yeah, because you weren't even wearing shoes.
Yeah.
So you just got out really, really fast. How long were you outside before I got there?
Around 10?
About 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Is how long you were out there
Yep.
before I got there?
Yep.
Wow.
Until I saw you.
Yeah. So what's your overall impression about fires? Never want to go through that again?
Never want to go through that.
I think quite the interesting way to start the day.
Yeah. I was wondering what I was going to do at work today. Nothing.
Nothing.
Not good.
You were at work for about 30 minutes when I called you?
Maybe an hour and a half.
So I went to a friend's house today to pick up our new refrigerator. Left about 8:20, got back about 8:45, and drove up the street, and it was blocked. And so I couldn't get to our house, and so I parked, and I saw all the fire trucks and saw security, and I just started running towards the house. And then I turned around and went and grabbed my phone because I realized I had to, call Joel. And got back and just was like, oh my God, what, like, is that my house? And they said yes. And they said, your son's right here. He's okay. He got the dog out. He's okay. And I'm like, but my house is on fire. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, why aren't you putting it out? Like, go put the house out. Go put it out. Go put the fire out. Why aren't you putting the fire out? And they're like, ma'am, it's okay. It's okay. They're getting it. I mean, the fire department had just arrived. But it's a very, very scary situation. They moved us down the street so we couldn't actually see what was going on much. We could just kind of watch from a distance. And at first they told us that the air conditioner was on fire. Then we heard, I think at one time, that there was a wire that was underneath our fake grass that was on fire, which is kind of impossible because it's concrete.
It's a water supply line for drip irrigation, which had been unhooked. So.
Yeah. And then they were like, we actually don't know what's on fire. And I could just imagine the whole house going up, which would be really weird because it is concrete. But in that situation, you have no idea. You have no idea what's going on. And it was really scary. So I messaged Joel and I said, come home. The house is on fire. And I'm sure that was probably not the right message, but I couldn't read. You can't call on WhatsApp here, so I couldn't call him, and that was the only thing I could do. And I finally got a hold of him. I was like, the house is on fire. You have to come home. And then I called our friend Sam, who is a medic and also knows all of the firefighters, and he just lives down the street. I guess everyone lives down the street here, but he was here really quickly and was great to be able to deal with like the fire department and security. And then Joel got here, and by the time you got here, it was out.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, within 20 minutes they had it out, and Des and I just sat there and kind of watched, and then Joel just kind of handled everything. And what'd they say to you when you got here?
Nothing much. I mean, they really didn't interject anything. They just asked him questions and pointed him in the right directions. I wasn't too worried about it. I was more nervous about the fact that we wouldn't have an air conditioner. If you look at the way the house is built, set up around it, it's a concrete bunker surrounded by a concrete bunker with more sand and concrete around it. So if the air conditioner were to burn, it wouldn't burn anything. But turns out it wasn't the air conditioner, because behind the air conditioner is another concrete fence, and in the corner there was some flower pots, you know, some dried vegetation and stuff like that in the flower pots, and we don't know why, and we can speculate all we want, but it caught on fire and it smoldered. It probably smoldered quite a while, because the flower pots had melted and burned, but I think as it was burning, the soil was smothering it as it was burning. So it was just sitting back there smoking for a long time. But I don't think there was any active danger in the house, you know, other than to just scare people and put everybody on high alert.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was pretty fortunate in that respect.
Yeah.
The guys came in and they put it out, and that was.
Yeah.
The other guys came in and scraped
And
up
cleaned
all
it.
scraped up all the plastic ooze that was all over the concrete, and now we've just got an ugly mess.
Now we just have a burned corner of our backyard, but you know, the AstroTurf didn't burn, which is really weird because it's plastic. You would
So
have thought that it would have burned, but it didn't.
I don't. That's why I don't think it got too hot. I mean, it got hot enough, so you'll probably see in pictures that if you look at the concrete wall, there are patterns that have come out in the concrete wall. So it pulled like maybe flux out from where the metal was put in to pour the concrete, the rebar. There's something like that that came out in patterns on it. So it got a little warm to pull that out, but I don't really know if there was any super huge active flames. It put out smoke, and it definitely stained the wall.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
we got very fortunate.
we did. We got.
There
Yeah.
was propane tanks over there, and according to a friend of ours, it takes an awful lot to make propane tanks actually explode.
I've seen a lot of movies. I don't know.
Too many diehards.
Because they're awesome. But Desmond was really awesome. He was super cool. Like when I saw him when we were across the street, and he's like, "It's okay, Mom. Like everything's okay. You know, everything will be fine." And he was just he's very much like Joel. He's just very calm, and I'm not.
There's plenty of time to panic. You look at the situation, figure out what you can do, and freak out later.
Yeah, I don't do that. I freak out first.
Yeah, freak out later after you can handle it. Then you've got time to adjust and deal. But
Yeah, but
assess the situation.
He's very much like you. He's very, very calm in those situations, and you know, so I'm very thankful for him because I'm very proud of him. He just
and
got out.
He did a very good job. And the security guys, it was a security guy driving by in
Just
a
having
car,
to go.
you know, cruising by in his car. That looked, it'd be more on this side of the house. That looked over here and saw smoke coming up on our side of the house. Called the fire department, and they were here lickety split, and they blocked off the street. And they did a great job.
And there was probably 50 people out there.
Of course, everybody's got to be a spectator.
Well, no, there was no spectators. Believe it or not, there was actually 0 spectators. It was housing. It was loss prevention. It was the fire department. It was security. It was the air conditioning guy. It was the cleaning crew. I mean, I think
They were on top of it. Everybody was there that needed to be there.
I think we're the only country in the world that if you have a house fire or a fire, just in general, somebody comes and cleans it for you. Like they had the whole cleaning crew in the backyard cleaning it. But yeah, I mean, like I know the guy at housing, and he's like, "Don't worry, Jamie, we'll get you guys a temporary house right away. I'm on it." And I'm like, wow, like so incredible.
But it turns out they were thinking it was the air conditioner.
Yeah.
And when they didn't know what it was, and I convinced them to let me back there and take a look, and I was like, well, it's not the air conditioner. It was just a bunch of old flower pots from when we grew tomatoes.
Yeah, when we grew the tomatoes, I probably should post those videos.
Maybe they were spicy. We
Yeah,
used to-
the broccoli.
Ooh, the old pepper plants. in
Oh,
the
there you go.
tomatoes. There you
They
go.
got a little hot. So anyway, we're just super, super thankful that it wasn't worse, and we know all too well, especially with what's going on in Maui and things like that, that you know we're very fortunate and that things could be very worse, and so we're gonna hold each other tight tonight.
Yeah. Go make me spaghetti.